So I wanted to recognize Jacob this evening by sharing a really embarrassing story with all of you. No, I'm just kidding. But I would feel that that would be appropriate, just looking at the great job you've done this year, continue to laugh and use a sense of humor as a tool in your leadership with MSCSA. But I would like to share a story. One of my favorite moments of Jacob didn't happen during his term as president. It happened during one of his first meetings as a board member with MSCSA about 3 years ago. As a new board member, Jacob, believe it or not, wasn't that shy. Maybe it was all those theater classes at Masada Range College that prepared him for his political debate, or maybe it was hanging out with all those Iron Range legislators on the campaign trail, or the bars.
That's different.
I think it was the latter. Whatever it was, something prepared Jacob Klander to speak his mind and be an advocate for the issues important to him. So as that fresh new face on our board, Jacob sat back as other members discussed an internal matter of little importance for way too long. Jacob finally rose and delivered a powerful and eloquent message about the mission of MSCSA and why continuing this trivial conversation as a board is not only a waste of time, but also doesn't allow the board to focus on the important work of representing students across Minnesota. Board members stopped talking, stared at Jacob, then looked around, and heads started nodding with agreement. They put the issue aside and continued on with the meeting. The entire group, excluding Jacob, had allowed themselves to get sucked into a debate with little merit, and no one questioned it, except Jacob. I chose the story not because it was the best speech that Jacob ever delivered. He's had a lot of those in front of the legislative committees, the board of trustees, to reporters across the state. I chose the story because it is a small and real example of how just one person can make a difference by delivering a simple message at the right time. We can learn a lot by Jacob's example and to strive to be reflective and thoughtful about what's happening around us. Asking the right questions and standing up even when no one else agrees with you. Members, please join me in recognizing your president, Jacob Klander.
That is the story that Justin just told. I think that's probably the most generous interpretation of that course of events that could possibly ever have been started. But 3 years ago, I walked into a spring General Assembly. It was my first experience of the Minnesota State College Student Association. And I came in with an open mind, but not really expecting that much. And I was blown away. And the only thing I can hope for is that in the last 3 years, I've helped to make this association grow more and more into the type of group and the type of people that will continue to take that fresh-faced senator at his first meeting and just blow him away and light something inside, get him fired up. Because that's why we're here. This isn't about the victories that we have right now. Those are important, yeah. But that's not the point. This isn't about the impact we can make on a campus. That is important, but that's not what it's about. This is about having the opportunity to take a fire and a passion that's grown inside of you and pass it on to the next generation of student leaders. And for me, that's what this weekend signifies, is kind of the passing of that torch. And I think that's a good metaphor because a torch, as we all know, is on fire.
Indeed.
You were not expecting a first grade grammar lesson, I know. Bear with me. The torch is on fire, and you pass that torch. We've all seen the Olympic thing with the torch. Indeed. But that passion inside of us as student leaders, inside of us as citizens, inside of us as members of our community is a fire. And if we don't feed it, if we don't come to these meetings and feed it and give it the knowledge that it needs to be focused, it will die. And if we don't pass it on before we leave, it will die. It will go with us and it will not be here anymore. So it's so important that we take that small action, whatever it is. For me, it was somebody coming to me on my campus and saying, hey man, they raised our student life fee like 75 cents and didn't ask anybody. And I was angry. So administrators, be careful what's being said on campus. You never know who's going to hear it and end up here. But if I can have any lasting impact from this, it's to hope that through the work that I've done and through the work that I've been able to help others do, that somehow I've had the same impact on somebody in this room that the student leaders who were here before me had on me 3 years ago. And I just thank you so much for the opportunity, for the honor, and for the privilege of having the last 3 years to be here, to learn, to grow, and to become, hopefully, the good person that I want to be in the future. So thank you to the Minnesota State College Student Association. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything.